Everyone ready? So Niklas is waiting in the wings. I'll be able to bring him into the conversation now. So we'll just put that on pause for a moment. And then we'll do the technical doohickeys. Right, so we'll do that. And then over here. And fingers crossed. Let's hope that all the technology works okay. Niklas, are you there, dude?
Yeah, dude. Can you
Cool.
hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you. So I think you just got to put your camera on.
Let's see here.
Yay! There we go.
Hello.
Nice. How are you, man?
I'm great. How are you, man?
Yeah, fantastic. We were just playing some Gojira on the show and watching the new video for Another World. Have you seen it?
I joined you.
Oh, it's so good, right? So good.
It's crazy good.
It like the animation and the whole story behind it. Yeah, just phenomenal. We'll come on to Gojira later. I want to geek out about Gojira a little bit later, but yeah, we're going to talk orbit culture, and you know, it's interesting actually because I was saying earlier that I think somewhere along the line that you were a band that's kind of sort of somehow kind of dipped under my radar here and there. There was a little period around 2016, 17 where I wasn't able to listen to new music as much. And I think that's where you started to really have a massive impact. But of course, your story goes all the way back to 2013. So, you know, you've been going at things for a little while now. But I'm wondering, being based in Sweden, is metal, is it something that's kind of like from the cradle?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
It's in the waters for sure.
Yeah. From the outside looking in, it kind of seems that way.
Yeah, you know, I think the majority of the kids here, at least my generation and earlier, we grew up with, you know, Kiss and stuff like that, and it just grew from there.
And so were your parents into metal, siblings? Like, how did you get into metal?
It was like a kid show that it was like a national thing, but they like mimed all the songs, and then there were like 4 kids that, you know, dressed up as kids with, you know, the full makeup and stuff, and I think I saw that when I was like 7 or 8, and I was just blown away. Right.
Yeah. So very early on then.
Yeah, but I didn't get into like death metal and so forth until I was like 17, 18 or something.
Yeah, I often talk about that when we all sort of get into metal, in that I don't think anybody really starts out with Cannibal Corpse. Like you have to work your way to get there. So what were some of the bands along the way that eventually kind of got you into death metal?
It was a friend of mine who showed me Parkway Drive.
Nice.
2011, 2012.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, I can't listen to this shit. He's just screaming, you know. But then I really got into the Deep Blue album.
Yes, yeah.
And everything like changed from there. And during that time, I also found Nile and stuff like that. So it went pretty fast.
That's interesting though with Parkway, because I guess, you know, they're still I say relatively new, but a more contemporary band, and it's been amazing to see how they've been able to grow over the past few years and now starting to get to arenas. I don't know if you've been to any of their recent live shows, but there's something else entirely now. It's basically, it's like, what was the terminology I used the other day? It's like metalcore meets Rammstein in terms of live show now. It's just something like completely else.
Yeah, it's like fireworks and everything.
Yeah,
but it's awesome to see.
It's so cool.
I just saw that documentary that they released. I can't remember the name, but they played like Wacken. It was so cool to see, you know, the behind the scenes and how much they still, you know, put into the band.
Yes, yeah, and I thought it was very cool at Wacken as well. They did a couple of songs in German and learnt German to do some songs. I think think it might have been The Void and maybe Pray that they did. But yeah, there's a couple of songs on that live album that they actually sing in German, which I thought was a really nice touch to the fact that they had got to where they got to at Wacken. So yeah, as you say, clearly still at their level, putting a lot into it.
Absolutely, and it's so inspiring to see.
Yeah,
You just
yeah.
have to, just keep working.
Yeah, yeah. I'd imagine for a band like yourselves, it must be very inspiring to see.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about your new album then, and if it's okay, I could do with a little bit of help, because one of the things I've noticed over the years is that pronunciations for metal seems to be getting harder and harder. And obviously, I'm from the UK, and my English is pretty bad at the best of times. But so your album title, is it a silent J or more of a hard one? So is it Nija or Nija?
I think I pronounce it Nija.
Nija. Right.
Nija, yeah.
Right. And so just tell me then the sort of the meaning behind that title.
It's kind of a boring meaning. We do, I remember me and Frederick, the bass player, we just sat down in Photoshop. We had already bought the artwork there from Barrel Marta.
Mm-hmm.
And we just, played around with some letters, and we just, wrote Nija. Yeah, that looks cool, I guess.
Right,
then,
nice.
Then, of course, we found out that it means like shimmering or something in Sanskrit.
Oh, right. Okay, because I typically, I Googled it earlier. Say, how do you say Nija? And all I got from Google was, did you mean ninja? I was like, no, I didn't fucking mean ninja. Nija.
Yeah, but it looks cool, and it gave the album a meaning. So
absolutely. Well, thanks for clearing that up. I will never have to struggle with that in future when speaking about your album. And dude, what an incredible album. Absolutely love it from start to finish. And I've said a few times, and I'm not just going to blow smoke up your ass here, but for me, I think I will be amazed if there is a better album in metal for 2020 for me. Like, it's such a sublime album the way you put it from start to finish. So well done, seriously. It is a phenomenal album.
Thank you.
When did you start making this album? And was it any way impacted, shaped, or made different because of the way in which 2020 went?
We started right away when we signed the Seek and Strike record deal there in late 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I just started to write, and it went, pretty good. I had some major difficulties with the computers and
Oh, you didn't you had the hard drive failures and all that,
yeah,
did you?
So I've learned my lesson. So everything is backed up these days.
An old university lecturer of mine said to me once, and it's a lesson I'll never forget. He told me that data isn't data until it's stored in at least 3 places. And I very much agree with that. I've been through the pain, man.
Yeah, it's horrible. But yeah, I got it fixed, and then like the motherboard broke down too. So.
Oh fuck! Right, back to tape.
Absolutely, yeah. And then we just started to work, and we recorded the song and the video for Nensha, and then we had to go out on tour, which was awesome, with the Rivers of Nihil.
Mm-hmm,
and so that took up some time, and then we got back to Sweden and started working on, the rest of the trilogy, like Rebirth and The Shadowing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And we aimed actually for a May release, but then this Corona stuff came, and we had to rethink the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it turned out pretty good, I hope.
Well, absolutely. And for anyone, I guess, who potentially is not so up to speed with the concept and the trilogy and everything like that, could you just get a little bit of a backstory on that?
Yeah, we actually started with the Shadowing video first. We wanted, a girl running from something, the old cliche stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then we started to look at like a monster type, and then we figured out it would be cool to write the songs in like big metaphors for anxiety and stuff. And that's when the ideas for the other videos came. So
Right. So a very kind of like metal look then on the issues of anxiety.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because it's certainly it's a big thing. Obviously, not just in the world of metal, but worldwide. Like, we've done a lot with mental health charities as part of the radio station. We've got some great ones here in the UK called Mind. But I think the way that you're kind of putting it forward is certainly a very different way of talking about anxiety.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, we want the ghosts and the cool stuff too. But when especially when it comes to the lyrics, it's very much metaphors. So you can, everything is like in the span of mental health. But you should be able to like read the lyrics and interpret. What is it called?
Interpret. Yeah.
Interpret.
Yeah. You help me out, man. I'll help you out as much as I can.
Thank you. That's cool. Like in your own life situations and stuff.
And I think certainly within the world of metal, it seems that actually it has kind of a lot of around the culture of all of that has moved forward quite a lot. There isn't as much stigma to talk about mental health, and I feel actually when we sort of talk about metal, it's not just it's all about like demons and hell and the more kind of, I guess, stereotypical kind of stuff. That actually a lot of metal bands are singing about like serious stuff like this now.
Yeah, and I still do write about dragons and stuff.
Yeah.
But for me, it's when I start to write about the shit I've been through myself, I can finish a lyric in like 5 minutes. It's just everything just pours out on the paper really fast, and you don't have to think so much. It's just there.
Yeah. And you talked earlier about obviously the pain that you went through with the motherboard and everything like that. We got a question from the Sanity 1724 and saying when he listens to the CD, he heard a slight difference between the CD version of Nensha and the single version of the song. Is there a difference, or are his ears just broken? So were they produced slightly differently?
Yes. So I guess his ears are good.
Very good. Yeah, they're far from broken.
Yeah, we switched it out for the album version there. I was not quite happy with the original mix, so I just want everything to sound somewhat similar on the album.
And how difficult then is it to not constantly go back to the mix and tweak it and change it? Because of course, when things are working and hard drives and motherboards aren't failing, you can go back to Pro Tools, open up the session. So is it difficult to put that restraint on yourself?
Absolutely. I think the restraint is exhaustion. I overmix stuff all the time, and then I like delete everything and start over, and that's how the train rolls. And then the last day before I do the final, I just I don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah. And do you find yourself, because I find myself when I'm trying to work on projects or get to grips with tech or whatever, you find yourself just suddenly looking at the clock and going, how is it 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
I'm going to be up at 8 or whatever. And you're like, oh, fuck, I did it again.
Yeah, that's basically my life, I guess. and for so many other musicians and stuff.
I feel you, man. I feel you. Ronnie getting in touch with Ronnie and saying, for any people who've only just got into Orbit culture, and I think to be fair, that's quite a few. This album, without a doubt, you picked up a lot of new fans. Which of your previous tracks that you have would you suggest as ones to go and check out? So, for example, Ronnie really loves the track Red Fog.
Yeah, I think Saw would be cool from the Red Fog EP. I think that was the song that really, reached out to people. And so yeah, I think that song has everything that we do.
Yeah.
it got the riffs, it got some harsh vocals, and some clean choruses, and a middle section and so forth.
And
that's like the basic formula for Orbit.
yeah, because I was sort of backtracking your music, and it seems like your vocal style developed through the albums? Like it wasn't something that started like that.
Yeah, I think the first song I did with the Hetfield vocals or
The
whatever it's
Papa Het
called.
vocals, yeah.
Yeah.
The
It was I the Wolf from the Rasen
hmm
album, and I'm still learning, the whole singing stuff till this day. It's so much harder than anything else.
I'd imagine, particularly as a death metal vocalist, how difficult was that to take on? And I guess as well when it comes to death metal, because I think for certain death metal fans, if there's any sort of deviation from the path, immediately that can be like, no, we're not into that. So did you feel, as you started to doing some clean vocals, like it was quite a big risk at the time?
Yeah, for sure. But in the end, I felt like it still rocks. It
Mm-hmm.
still moves the songs forward. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I just kept it, and I try to evolve it every day. For
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Mm-hmm. And has it been difficult to mix between the clean and the harsh? Because I know, for example, Matt Heafy of Trivium's talked about this quite a bit, that he blew his voice out about 3 or 4 times and very nearly gave up screaming entirely, and sort of only just now really kind of properly learned how to do it without fucking up his vocal cords.
Yeah, still some parts are, you know, you really have to be fast between parts sometimes, because the techniques are so different.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
as long as I sing from my belly, it's been it's not been hurting anything in the throat, and that's what I'm worried about. If it hurts in your throat, then just
That's when to
stop right
stop.
away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
but I haven't came across that issue yet. Um, but still, it's sometimes it's hard, with different words to jump fast from the growl and the Hetfield vocals or the clean
Mm-hmm.
vocals.
Mm-hmm. I'd imagine it is. I'd imagine it is. Like, yeah, I would tried a couple of screams here and there as backing vocals in one of my old bands, and immediately I was just like, like no, no,
Yeah.
no, no, I'm out, I'm out. Kingsley getting in touch and saying that he's new to Orbit Culture, and he's literally only heard of you since the track Open Eye. So that's someone who's just got into you now. And also there was a question from Hobber Wobber saying, which song was the most difficult to finish from the new album?
Shit. I think it was Rebirth. Because between Nansha and Rebirth, that was the stages when I really mixed. I started with the Rebirth mix to have it. That's the same mix for the whole album.
Mm-hmm.
So so Rebirth was the toughest, not when it comes to recording and stuff, but the mixing stuff.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
not going back to the well and constantly like tweaking it and
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. And on the flip side of that, AK getting in touch and saying which song are you most happy with from the new album?
It's a tough question. I hate all of them right now.
I love that because the answer you always get from a band is they're all great, they're all fantastic songs, but I hate
Yeah.
all of them. They will all put me through so much fucking pain.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
that's brilliant.
to be honest, it took kind of a new life when we released it. It felt like this is really cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I think the song that is my favorite is probably The Shadowing.
The Shadowing, yes,
Yeah.
yes. When we played the video earlier for that, and bravo on that, dude. The video production on that is incredible. So, how much
Thank
do
you.
you how involved are you with that whole video process? Because when I was watching, I was like, it's like watching an episode of Vikings. Like this is that well produced.
Yeah, yeah. I made them
Wow.
in Adobe Premiere and shot the whole thing. Of course, with the band shots, we we have been so grateful because all of our family and friends helped us with all this stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
everything from like catering and stuff to
Yeah, yeah.
just driving us around in the forests. So it's been like a big family that really made those videos, but the editing and stuff is made in Adobe Premiere.
That's really cool. So, and it seems to me, yeah, you've been mixing the albums, you've been mastering, obviously writing, and you've been doing the videos. Essentially, you kind of been doing everything. You taught yourself to do a lot with Orbit Culture. So, do you have any recommendations, I guess, for other bands that are thinking of, kind of getting themselves out there? Because it seems like you've taken on a lot to push the band forward.
Yeah, I think it comes down that we we didn't have any cash whatsoever.
Yeah, yeah.
So we had to do everything ourselves. And to be honest, we don't know anybody that really does these kinds of music videos around here in Eksjö and Jönköping.
Yes, because you're in a rural part of Sweden, right?
Yeah, it's it's in the forest between right between Gothenburg and Stockholm.
Right.
In the heart of Sweden.
Right. And I'd imagine then, yeah, you must get some harsh environments in the winter period with that.
Yeah, it's the last couple of years is I haven't seen that much snow actually.
Goddamn climate change.
I don't know what. Yeah. But like 10 years ago, yeah, it was like 20 minus Celsius degrees or something. So,
but I think that's cool though that obviously you're from a more rural part of Sweden, but that really hasn't inhibited you as a band, because previously the way it would be is if you want to make it as a band, you'd be like, right, we've got to move to Gothenburg and we're going to have to play there all the time, or you're going to have to move over to America or the UK or somewhere. And it's quite amazing now actually that you can self-train, learn a lot, and from your home push the band forward in such a way.
Yeah, and that's why I love the internet and YouTube tutorials.
Have you seen, by the way, all of the reaction videos to your music now?
Yeah, of course.
There's so many. Like, it was like the first thing that came up when I YouTubed you the other day. I was like,
yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of reaction videos. What do you make of those?
Yeah, the first time that happened, I was like, holy shit, what's going on?
Yeah.
And, I still love them to this day. And especially, Galactic Criminal, and especially when they are so, colorful and just so full of energy. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, I watched them.
Nice. So at the start, we were talking about Gojira, and we've mentioned James Hetfield and stuff, and they are kind of two bands that you cite as influences, Metallica and Gojira. So let's get geeky about these bands, man. Metallica, where are you at on Metallica? Are we Master of Puppets, Ride the Lightning? Where are you as a Metallica fan?
Holy shit. I just want the whole package.
What? It's Saint Anger included?
Yeah, from time to time it works, but since I started to mix more, I was like, no. But,
if I could just get the master files for Saint Anger and just retune that snare.
But of course, I think as much as I love, Master of Puppets and the whole Cliff Burton era, I'm so much into the Justice for All.
Right. Yeah, nice. And I'm sure you must have heard "And Justice for Jason," right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, got some bass on there.
Yeah, got some bass on there, which is great, which is fantastic. Yeah, I always find it interesting with Metallica, particularly with the albums that Bob Rock produced, the Black Album, and I can't remember if he did the Load albums, but he did Black Album and Saint Anger. But the fact that there could be such a big difference between those productions, because the Black Album for me is one of the best produced metal albums there's ever been. Like Lars had something like 100 mics on his drum kit alone, I think.
Yeah.
And then it flipped from that to Saint Anger all those years later. It's like, how the frick did that even happen?
Yeah, I totally agree. And I still listen to the Black Album, every week at least. And,
really? Wow, every week. Nice. See, I try and go to the the different tracks on the album when I do go to the Black Album. So songs like Struggle Within or Through the Never. The God That Failed is amazing.
Absolutely.
So good. So when did you get into Gojira then? When did that happen?
I think it was around. I think it was right after Parkway Drive, around 2012. There, we had like a LAN party. Me and some friends. We played League of Legends, I believe.
Nice.
And they were like, gave me a pair of headphones, but you need to hear The Art of Dying. I think it was from The Way of All Flesh, and I was like, So I just turned it up and just sat there and like, what the fuck is going on? And when the last part of that song comes, I started to like get goosebumps. And so I just unplugged the League of Legends and started to play guitar all night instead.
Oh, amazing. And for me, what I loved about Gojira was the way in which they were able to take like quite serious issues, like the way in which climate change and societal things and stuff like that, and put it into metal. I thought that felt so different as they were doing that. Not that it hadn't ever been done before, because it had been, but it was just something about the way in which Gojira delivered it that really cut through.
Yeah, they are the masters of that stuff, and as you said before I joined here, I wonder how many bands they've influenced through the years.
Yeah, I was talking about it earlier. I think at this point, I think it's profound the amount of bands that they have influenced, and it's great to see them. They're starting to get to that headline status on certain festivals. So they've headlined Bloodstock here in the UK. I'm not too sure in Europe where they've headlined, but they're certainly getting up there, and that recognition. I think they've probably been one of, if not the most important metal bands in the past 15 years for me.
Totally agree. And the live shows that they put on, how well they play and execute, their whole live show. It's something to behold for sure.
And obviously, you've toured quite a bit, and when you're in a bands, you'll get to know you'll get to know maybe that press guy or agent or anything like that. Have you managed to cross paths with Gojira at all over the past 7 years?
No, unfortunately not. We will see in a couple of years or so. Maybe
okay, all right. Well, I tell you what, if I can get a member of Gojira on the stream, maybe I can bring you back on as well, and we can have a conversation together. What do you think about that?
Yeah, the problem is I think I would be too scared to talk. So yeah.
It could be good fun, man. It could be good fun. I've got a couple more questions in. So, Kirst saying, what are the future plans for Orbit Culture? Obviously, that's going to be a difficult one for you to answer given the state of the world. But are you looking, like what's possible?
We actually confirmed a tour like 2 days ago.
Cool.
But I'm not allowed to reveal any details yet.
Right. And I guess this would be like quite further down the road in the hope that shows will be happening. Yeah, that shows will be happening again.
We will just have to wait and see, but at least it's confirmed.
Yeah.
We got a spot on the bill.
Yeah, nice.
So that's cool. Other than that, we will just, try to push out some live performance videos on YouTube, like the one that we did with the shadowing. And then I will try to, hopefully write some new stuff and just, be.
Yeah. Is it difficult for you as a band with so much technicality and all the instrumentation and everything like that to really kind of get on board with the whole aspect of streaming? Because we've obviously, there's a lot of live streams out there now. Have you kind of thought about doing anything along those lines?
Yeah, as long as we, I have to really, check it out how it works and stuff like that. I have no experience in, the streaming world or whatever. But if we can get the gear, and I think we can do it for
Well,
sure.
I think if you can learn to mix and master, all of your own records and learn Adobe and everything like that, yeah, you'll be fine learning Streamlabs. You'll be fine learning that without a doubt.
Cool, cool. Yeah, I'll give it a shot for sure.
And it kind of feels to me. Obviously, we talk about like Metallica and Gojira and bands that have had big impact. I talk about it quite regularly that I think melodic death metal never got as much praise as it should have done. Metalcore almost sort of stole the spotlight there a little bit, but it kind of feels like actually I'm hearing a lot more influences of the likes of At the Gates, In Flames, Soilwork. That seems to be coming through in a lot more metal bands today. Would you say you kind of feel the same?
Yeah, and I hope that too. Even though I love metalcore too, but I think the riffs and stuff from the melodic death metal era is just it's so untouchable. And I think if you want to write a good riff, you really should study the melodic death metal stuff because they got some really cool stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And I think one of the best melodeath shows I saw was In Flames at the Shepherd's Bush Empire in London, and it was just such a special night. And they still to this day are on top of their game as a band.
Absolutely, it's really cool. I've seen them a couple of times, and they always put on such a good show. And especially when they play here in Sweden too.
Yeah, of course, it's like a big homecoming show, I suspect,
yeah,
in Sweden.
Awesome every time.
And something a bit different here. So this one's from Hubba Wubba saying, what character did you main in League of Legends?
Dude, I played Cassidy in mid.
Okay, see, I don't play League of Legends, so for me that was just like, I've just started to get to grips with Call of Duty. I'm just about there, but it's taken a little while. And man, I really underestimated how much time you have to invest in games now, because I played it for like 5 minutes. Like, okay, I'm just gonna go over here. Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah.
like even to just enjoy a game now, it kind of feels like any game that you play, you gotta invest time into it now.
Yeah. I still got all the games installed on Steam still, but I'm like you. I play like for 50 minutes and then like this is not it ain't so satisfactory anymore for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm always like when I game, I just sit and think about the stuff. The music and stuff instead, and then I like tab down and go straight into Cubase or whatever, and like between the
and then just full on rage quit Call of Duty. Some fucker just sniped you in the head. It's like and Tactical Failure asking as well. What games are you playing in the band? So any other games that you guys play?
Oh shit! I think Richard, the lead guitarist, he plays a lot of games. I can't, you see, I can't even name anything anymore. But it's PS4 stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But I play Tibia from time to time.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Tibia. Oh, man. See, now, that was a game that I played in secondary school, or high school, maybe what you might call it. And it is a ridiculously addictive game. I think I got to like level 70 or something like that, but oh man, I got full on addicted to that in school. It's great. And is it still 2D?
Yeah,
it's still 2D. I fucking love that. For those of you that don't know Tibia, it's basically 2D World of Warcraft, but it's huge. It's massive. I can't believe that that's still going. So what level did you get to on Tibia?
I played a lot more. It got easier all the time with the experience points and so forth. So I think I got to like 230 or something.
Oh shit! Right, yeah. So you did way better than I did. Yeah,
Yeah,
I could barely kill a dragon.
but these days people are like 1,200 or
Oh,
something. It's ridiculous.
I bet. Yeah. Oh, jeez, man. Yeah. Oh, man. That's an absolute blast from the past. I've not thought about it in a very long time.
Yeah, but it was so addicting.
Oh, it really is. It's crazy how addictive
Yeah.
that game is. I'd actually be scared to go back on that game
Yeah.
just because I think a lot of musicians actually have that sort of addictive personality where they get into something and they just want to make it amazing. And I kind of have a similar thing. It's like whatever I start, I feel like I have to get good at. I can't just half get into something and be like, no, I've got to be the absolute best at everything. It's like, yeah. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes definitely not good.
That's true.
So we just got a really nice comment here from James, who's saying is that I'd just like to say is that Orbit Culture has influenced the way that I write my band's music and why they're my favorite band of all time. With how incredibly heavy and brutal they are. The last 30 seconds of Day of the Cloud, absolutely brutal. So yeah, that one from James.
Oh, cool. Thank you, James. It's unreal to hear stuff like that.
I bet, and it really does seem that your fan base is growing each and every day, and I suspect that you've got your own sort of community within your fan base now.
Yeah, the fans has been so supportive. Ever since there's been some guys that's been with us since the first EP, and they are still like commenting every day.
right yeah.
And that's so cool to see. But yeah, the new fans too, everyone just commenting and talking so much. I'm me and the guys are just sitting right there with the phones, like watching all the comments and with a big smile on our faces.
Yeah. It's of course it's an amazing time, and I guess is it sometimes maybe almost a little overwhelming at times because I feel like in a band you spend so long going like trying to break through that glass ceiling, and then like once you start to crack it a little bit, it's like, oh shit, here we go.
Yeah, it's awesome. But of course, I try to respond to everyone all the time. But I guess there will be a point where there will be some delays, and I hope people can understand that too.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. Dude, this has been an absolute pleasure to chat today. Really good to speak and get to know you a little bit more. And again, congratulations on such a fantastic new album. And we'd love to have you back again sometime.
Thank you, Pete. I will definitely be here.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, man. Take care.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. There we go. So that is Niklas there from Orbit Culture. And again, thank you to Niklas for the chat there. Thank you to each and every one of you for watching the stream. Apologies if I wasn't able to get your question onto the show this evening, but I think we'll definitely get Niklas back on the stream, and I'm going to do my damnedest to see if I can get Gojira on, and maybe if we can have a little bit of a chat with Gojira and Niklas of Orbit Culture, and see if we can maybe put him on the spot a little bit. It could be good fun.